Okay, folks, I'm making this video that hopefully I can save somebody a lot of heartache. If you have a 2018 Ford F-150 with the Coyote motor 10-speed transmission, I bought this truck used with about 15,000 miles on it, and I didn't drive it very far. I'd around town and all that. First time I went on a long trip, when I got there, and I didn't stay long, I was picking up a motorcycle. I went got in it to start it, it wouldn't start. It was just won't. Didn't have enough power to start. I freaked out. We jumped it with two different trucks. We tried to jump it. It would not do nothing. I said, oh God, I already have to buy a new battery. I just got this truck. You can put a Caterpillar battery on there and jump it. It's not going to start. These trucks, the starter runs next to the muffler. And when the starter heats up, it's not going to start. If you simply wait 30 minutes and let it cool down, it'll start right up. That's why I always, when I go somewhere a long distance in the truck, I make sure I turn my, automatic start stop button off in case I'm at a red light and it dies and I've been driving it for an hour and it's hot. It's not going to start back up. So I keep that off. And if I'm going somewhere and I'm not going to be there long, I just leave it running. Yesterday I drove 2 hours in it yesterday, and when I got there I forgot about it and I cut it off. Sure enough, won't. And I knew better than to run freak out thinking my alternator was out, my starter was out, I had a bad battery. My son has the same truck and he's done bought two $200 batteries thinking that's what it was, and that had nothing to do with it. The starter gets hot. All you have to do is let it rest. I sat there where I went yesterday to pick up a motorcycle and I accidentally cut it off, knowing what was going to happen. It wouldn't crank up. Won't. Just barely turn it over. I opened the hood, sat there, sit in my driver's seat about 30 minutes. Sure enough, boom, hit the key, cranked right back up, drove all the way back home. So that's the problem with the Fords. You can call the Ford place, they're going to tell you they ain't never heard of that. Bull crap. It happened to my son, it happened to me. It's the 2018, and I don't know if it's on all the F-150s. I know the 2018 does it. When that starter gets hot, it's running, the muffler runs right by it. When that starter gets hot, it's not going to crank. I don't give a shit what you jump it with. And you're going to go run buy a new battery or have it checked and it's going to show good. And you're going to wonder, well, I need to replace the starter. You can replace the starter. And it may be okay for a few months, but unless you shield it from that muffler, it's going to do the same thing. So I hope I saved somebody some headache. The only thing you can do is leave the truck running if you go a long way. If you're not going to be there very long, 10 minutes or so, leave the truck running. Make sure you turn that thing off, because if it turns off at a red light when it's hot, it ain't going to crank back up. You're going to be stuck at a red light. So that's the problem with the 150. That has nothing to do with the starter, nothing to do with the alternator. It's nothing to do with the battery. It's the starter getting hot on a long trip. Like, I'm talking about driving like an hour or 2 hours. I can drive all over the place around here, around town and all that, and it starts fine. But let that motor get hot, and that sumbitch ain't gonna start. So, that's my video, and I hope I can save somebody some trouble.